Silvio program, starring Richard Silvio, brought to you by Drake and Access Television.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Richard Silvio program. Tonight, I will spare you of my lengthy and often asinine introductions, as we have a jam-packed show to bring to you this evening. Our first offering this evening takes us back to the Wild West, where her bones denounce the buckboard bounce. Of course, I'm referring to Giselle McKenzie, who will be performing her rendition of Buttons and Bows. Now, hop along, little doggy.
East is east, west is west. Let's go where I'll keep on wearing those frills and flowers and buttons and bows, rings and things and buttons and a bow. Don't bury me in this prairie, take me where the cement grows. Let's move down to some big town where they love a gal by the cut of her clothes, and I'll stand out in buttons and a bow. I love you in buckskin or skirts that I've homespun, but I'll love you longer, stronger, where your friends don't talk. Now the buckboard bumps and the cactus hurts my toes. Let's vamoose where gals keep using those silks and satins and the linen that shows, and I'm all yours in buttons and a bow. I love you in buckskin or skirts that I've homespun, but I love you longer, stronger, where your friends don't tote a gun. Now's the buckboard bounce and the cactus spurs my toes. Let's vamoose where gals keep using those silks and satins and the linen that shows, and I'm all yours in buttons and a bow. Give me Eastern trim where women are women in high silk hose and peekaboo clothes, French perfume that rocks the room, and I'm all yours in buttons and bows, buttons and bows, buttons and bows. You love me so much better in buttons and bows.
Well, they certainly don't make them like they used to, and I'll leave that one up to you to decipher. Our next showing features yet another beautiful, graceful, and enchanting showgirl, the very talented and very young Gracie Benny. You'll see what I mean.
Gracie, say hello.
Hello.
Hair looks very pretty tonight.
I know. I had it done at the beauty parlor.
Oh?
And George, I heard the most wonderful joke over there. You want to hear it?
Yeah, we'd all love to hear it.
Had everybody dying laughing.
Well, let's hear it.
Well, one fella said to the other fella, "If you don't think so, brother, you ought to see my wife."
Is this the whole joke?
Oh, no, there was a lot of stuff ahead of it that I didn't hear, you see, but this is the line that had everybody dying laughing.
Gracie, I don't think you ought to tell that.
Too risque.
Too naughty. Let's talk about your brother.
All right, which one should we talk about? The one who's married or the one who's in love?
The one who's in love. Willie, the tall one. The one that has the scar on the chin.
Oh, the appendicitis scar.
Now, appendicitis is on the stomach. You see, if...
Yeah, I know, but Willie was ticklish down there, so they had to operate.
How is Willie?
Willie? Oh, Willie broke his back, you know.
Oh? Broke his back?
Mm-hmm. On account of he's left-handed.
Broke his back because he's left-handed?
Mm-hmm. You see, he had a donut in his right-hand pocket, and when he tried to take it out with his left hand...
Broke his back?
Yeah.
Well, the next time he's got a donut in his right-hand pocket, tell him to try to take it out with his right hand.
That's hard to do when you got your pants on backwards.
His pants on backwards?
Mm-hmm. You see, he was wearing two pair of pants. He had one on frontward and one on backward.
So that he could go either way.
Yeah. That's when the truck hit him.
The truck? Mm-hmm. What truck?
The truck that didn't have its light slit.
Well, why didn't the truck have its light slit?
Because he had his pants on.
Hold it. Did the man in the truck have his pants on backwards, or did Willie have his pants on backwards?
Oh, George, you're trying to confuse me.
I'm confusing you, huh?
Yeah, Willie had his pants on
But the
backwards.
man in the truck, why didn't he have his light slit?
Hmm?
The man in the truck, why didn't he have his light slit?
Because he didn't have to. It was in the daytime.
Well, if it was in the daytime, didn't he see your brother coming?
Oh, he didn't know it was my brother.
He didn't?
No. He just saw two pair of pants coming towards him, so he drove right.
Between them?
Yeah.
This family of yours, they fascinate me. Did you all live together?
Well, there was my father, my uncle, and my brother, my cousin, my nephew. They all slept in one bed.
I'm surprised your grandfather didn't sleep with him.
Well, my grandfather used to sleep with him, but he died, so they made him get up.
If you please, Professor. Stop. Gracie, is your sister Bessie here tonight?
No, Bessie couldn't come here tonight on account of her canary is hatching an ostrich egg.
A canary is hatching an ostrich.
Mm-hmm. But the canary is too small to cover the egg.
So?
So, Bessie has to sit on the egg and hold the canary in her hand.
Music. Stop. Bessie, how's she feeling?
Who, Bessie?
Bessie, yes.
Well, Bessie's all right, but the other night she woke up in the middle of the night and she let out the most awful scream.
What happened?
Well, she looked down and her feet had turned black.
Well, what did you do?
We sent for a doctor.
What'd the doctor do?
Just took off her stockings and we all went back.
Music. Your sister Bessie's been married a long time, hasn't she?
Uh-huh. You know, she has 8 sets of twins now.
8 sets of twins?
Mm-hmm. See, her husband made bookends for a living, and this affected their whole lives.
Music. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd love to do a little more, but we're not prepared.
I am.
You see, in television,
If my brother was here, I could do an act all by myself.
you're allowed
My
to
brother
do just.
isn't here, so I have to work
You're
alone.
allowed to do just so much.
My poor brother.
And this is only
held
a
up,
half-hour show.
It was held up by two men. Two men held up my brother.
They
Two men held him up, my
that,
poor brother.
we're not
Held up by two
supposed
men. Two men held up my brother, too. Two men held him up.
They-
Two
they-
men.
they-
Two men. Two men.
Your brother.
Yeah, 2 men.
was held up by 2 men.
Uh-huh.
Where?
All the way home.
Which brother is this?
Oh, Harvey.
Harvey. Oh, that's the one with the high blood pressure, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, the one, he sleeps on the floor to keep it down.
Yeah. How is Harvey?
Harvey?
Harvey.
Oh, he's fine. Oh, Harvey isn't in jail anymore.
Oh, really? Well, I'm glad to hear that.
See, he got out of jail because he's such a great artist.
Got out of jail because he's a great artist?
Mm-hmm. You see, he painted, he's an artist, he paints, you
Yeah.
see. So he painted a picture of an open window on the wall of his cell.
Yeah.
You see? So then when the guards came in to close the window, he walked out through the door.
Well, I'm glad that Harvey is not in jail anymore. I'm glad he's out.
What?
I'm glad Harvey is out. I'm glad he's not in jail. I'm glad he's out.
Yeah, so is his wife, Rover.
Well, Rover? His wife's name is Rover?
Uh-huh. You see, when she was a little girl, she moved next to our family, see, next door. So one day our mother told all of us kids, she said, thought it would be kind of nice if we called her Rover. So we did.
Music.
Well, Gracie certainly looked different this evening. Perhaps we had a bad reception. Let's take a look at a song and dance routine by George Burns in, hopefully, Gracie Allen.
She wakes me up when I'm in slumber deep to ask me if I really am asleep. Why do I stand for it? I love her, that's why. She calls the doctor when I need some bread and calls the baker when I'm sick in bed. Why do I stand for it? I love her, that's why. Life with her is unpredictable, but I'm a guy who knows no fear. A jibber-jabbery may puzzle you and me, but to her it's perfectly clear. She'll make a date with me, then make me wait, and then she'll bawl me out for being late. Why do I stand for it? Oh, I love her, that's why.
Serenades me with that gravel voice. I have to listen 'cause I have no choice. Why do I stand for it? I love him, that's why. He'll keep repeating all his corny jokes and making snide remarks about my folks. Why do I stand for it? I love him, that's why. Life with him is so lugubrious, whatever that may mean, I'm sure. He calls me sweetie pie, but never tells me why. Now you see what I must endure. He'll start a quarrel over silly things, like wrecking cars or losing diamond rings. Why do I stand for it? I love him, that's why.
There's something about a vaudeville song and dance routine that really makes you feel American. A good, clean-cut song and dance does wonders for the heart. Of course, it's the laughing that really lifts your spirits. So, what do you say, Gracie?
Thank you very much. Well, Gracie, did you get any mail from home?
Oh, yes, I had a letter from my sister Hazel.
Well, that ought to be good for a few minutes. How is Hazel?
Oh, Hazel hasn't been very well. Her feet are killing her, so she's going to have glasses fitted.
That should take longer than a few minutes. Didn't have glasses fitted because her feet are killing her?
Sure. She couldn't see where she parked the car. She had to walk 5 miles to get home.
Well, if her eyes are that bad, how can she see where she's driving?
She doesn't have to. She only drives on streets she's familiar with.
Yeah, well, I'm glad she's got a good memory, but she ought to do something about her eyes.
Oh, she will. Hazel said she's going to an octopus to see if she needs glasses.
She means an oculist.
No. First, she'll look at an octopus, and if she doesn't see 8 legs, then she'll
go to an oculist?
Yeah.
Well, that ought to do it.
You know, Hazel's eyes have always been bad. The last time I was home, she wasted hours sitting in front of a washing machine.
Why did she do that?
Well, there were 2 suits of long underwear inside, and she thought there were wrestlers on television.
Imagine she's still sitting there, huh?
Oh, no. Hazel's on a vacation now. She went to one of those islands in the West Indies.
Jamaica?
No, I didn't make her. She wanted to go.
Would you mind repeating that?
Hazel's on a vacation now. She went to one of those islands in the West Indies.
Cuba?
I didn't make her. She wanted to go.
Say goodnight.
Good night.
You know, George and Gracie were a real sensation during the Second World War, traveling the country, giving the American people a break from the hardships of the war. Of course, nothing lifts the soul more than music, especially if it's composed by Spike Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Führer's face. And is it red? Because this tune is sweeping the country and everybody's out jeering at him. Okay.
When the Führer says, here's the matter, we Heil! Heil! Right in the Führer's face, not to love the Führer. He's a great disgrace, so we Heil! Heil! Right in the Führer's face.
Beautiful.
When Herr Goebbels says, we own the world in space, we Heil! Heil! Right in Herr Goebbels' face. When Herr Göring says, they'll never bomb this place, we Heil! Heil! Right in Herr Göring's face. Are we not the Superman? A pure Superman.
Yeah, we is the Superman. Super duper Superman.
Is this Nazi land so good? Would you leave it if you could?
Yeah, this Nazi land is good. We would leave it if we could.
We bring the world to order. Heil Hitler's world to order. Every one of foreign race will love the Führer's face when we bring to the world disorder. When the Führer says, here's the master race, we Heil! Heil! And in the Führer's face, not to love the Führer is a great disgrace, so we Heil! Heil! And in the Führer's face, when the Führer says, here's the master race, we Heil! Heil! And in the Führer's face, not to love the Führer is a great disgrace, so we Heil! Heil! Right in the Führer's face.
You know, Spike Jones, always a good source for laughs, especially if you're looking to make fun of fascist dictators. Well, why don't we travel back across the Atlantic and down across the border to see Mel Blanc in his hysterical Hispanic orchestra.
Now, I would like to present this group that came all the way from south of the border. They call themselves the Tijuana Troubadours. It says here that you're a group where you come from Tijuana, is that right? Sí. And you, evidently are the spokesman for the group? Sí. That means, of course, you're their leader. Sí. Now, what is your name? Sai. Sai? Sí. Now, it says here that you're all related, that you're brothers, so evidently you must be a sister.
Sí.
Have you been with this act a long time?
Sí.
And what is your name?
Sue.
Sue?
Sí.
Now, I imagine you being amateurs, you probably, you haven't got a chance to make much money, so I imagine you do something else for a living. Like you, what do you do for a living, Sue?
So.
So?
Sí.
Here that you're going to play a number for us, right? See. All right, play something.
Siempre que te pregunto que cuándo, cómo y dónde, tú siempre me respondes, quizás. Pasan los días y yo desesperado y tú contestando, quizás. Estás perdiendo el tiempo.
Wait a minute, hold it. I want to ask you something. I've heard this song so many times, and those words, quizás. Now, what does quizás mean?
Perhaps.
Quizás means perhaps?
I see.
You think, huh?
Sí.
Oh,
Estás perdiendo el tiempo pensando por lo que tú más quieras. ¿Hasta cuándo? Así pasan los días y yo desesperado y tú contestando, quizás.
thank you very, very much, and I predict that you will be amateurs for a long, long time. Now, I want to also thank you for coming all the way here to do your act for nothing.
Free?
See.
That's very barato. That means cheapskate. That's very viejo barato. That means old cheapskate.
I didn't know that that's what it meant. I got a Christmas card with that written on it.
That was good, see? Well, why don't we shoot right back to the U.S. and enjoy some good old-fashioned USO routines. Yes, nobody entertained the troops more than that stripper who never stripped, the sexy Contessa of the Stage Door Canteen, Gypsy Rose Lee.
Have you the faintest idea about the private life of an exotic dancer? Well, up until a few years ago, it was New York's second largest industry. Now, a fan dancer's education requires years of concentration. And for the sake of explanation, take a look at me. I began at the age of 3, learning ballet at the Royal Imperial School in Moscow. Oh, I suffered and suffered for my art. Then, of course, Sweet Briar. Oh, dear college days. And after 4 years of psychology, zoology, biology, and anthropology, my education was complete. And I was ready to make my professional debut for the Minskys on 14th Street. Now, the things that go on in a fan dancer's mind would give you no end of surprise. But if you're psychologically inclined, there's more to see than meets the eyes. For an example, when I lower my gown a fraction and expose a patch of shoulder, I'm not interested in your reaction or in the bareness of my shoulder. I'm thinking of some painting by Van Gogh or by Cézanne, or the charm I found in reading Lady Windermere's Fan. When I lower the other side, expose my other shoulder, Do you think I take the slightest pride in the whiteness of that shoulder? I'm thinking of my country house, or the jolly fun in shooting grouse. There's the music, and that's my cue. There's only one thing left to do, so I do it. And when I raise my skirts with slyness and dexterity, I'm mentally computing just how much I'll give to charity. And though my stockings I have revealed, and just a bit of me remains concealed. I'm thinking of the life of Dooza. Or the third chapter of all this in heaven, too. And none of those men whose minds are obscene. Ooh. They leave me apathetic. I prefer the more aesthetic. Things like dramas by Racine. And then I take the last thing off. Well, practically. And stand there shyly, looking demurely at every man. Do you believe for one moment that I'm thinking of art? No! Well, I certainly am. That's all there is. There isn't any more.
It was like it didn't star and gotta.
Oh, boys, I couldn't. I'd catch cold.
And to close our program this evening, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we watch a snippet of the Andy Griffith Show, which has been edited to suit our modern times. Let's take a look.
Barney, come out here. I want to tell you something.
And I want to show you something. Deputy Barney Fife reporting for inspection, sir.
Barney, what in the world have you got on?
Uniform of the day, sir.
Barney, I want you to tell me what you got on. Where in the world did you get that thing?
Well, Mayor sent it over. Don't you like it? He sent one over for you, too.
No, sir. I'll not put one of them things on.
But, Andy, the mayor sent word down that there's to be a special meeting of the town council, and he expects...
No, sir. Now, I don't mean to be cantankerous, but I'll not put one of them things on. And I wish you'd take yours off, too.
If only Andy and Barney knew. If only they knew. Well, folks, that concludes this evening's program. Stay safe, stay happy, and, above all, keep smiling.